My name is Sarah Elbert, and this is my Community Inquiry Project. Throughout this course, we've looked at different ways to improve the schools, specifically in urban settings. Through much research, it seems that there are a lot of options of different ideas that teachers can implement into their classroom. While these ideas are great in theory, there are still problems teachers face, such as low attendance rates, violence, disrespect, class size, and issues with relevant curriculum. Over and over, we are told that the school system is flawed, but my question is, what can be done to fix these issues that teachers are facing?
I think that to start by fixing the problem in the education system, you have to start with the basics. For me, that is learning the divide between socioeconomic statuses in the classroom. While higher socioeconomic statuses do have their problems, I think the bigger problems lie with the lower and middle class status kids. For starters, the issue with getting to school and having a reason to stay in school is the main reason that so many kids do not finish their education. While the school bus is great and reliable for getting the kids to school, it's not a reason to stay in school. Once the older kids are eligible to start working for a living, or even if they aren't eligible and they find a way to make an income, they're going to choose that to help their families struggling to provide food and housing. Once these kids see how quickly they are able to make money in these lower end income jobs to help provide for their family, that is where they will stay until they have kids of their own and the issue repeats itself. Providing free meals at school helps encourage these kids to go to school so that they have a secure source of food entering their bodies and will know where their next meal is coming from. I think another issue is the standardized testing that schools have agreed to issue based off of state requirements. While these tests do try to be fair to an extent, you have to take a look at the individuals writing the exams. Most of these individuals writing these exams come from higher education and have been exposed to different learning environments than, let's say, an inner city school has. With that, the questions are designed to make sense to someone of a higher economic status, using phrases that make sense to them because they have been around these words their whole life, but would not make sense to an individual who has not been exposed to that atmosphere, who has lived in maybe a lower economic status neighborhood. If standardized testing was eradicated and a different measurement of knowledge was used to test these kids, then more youth might achieve higher scores and feel more willing to continue their education based off of the praise that they think they should be exposed to and the praise they're actually getting based off of fair and equal testing in the classroom.
Hello, my name is Brent Owen. I am a logistics officer in the United States Army. To address your question, I think it's important to get parents involved as much as possible, so that way there's a driving force behind the children at every stage, both at school and at home. If there is additional motivation for these children to succeed because the parents and teachers are both invested in the child's learning, then the child's going to take their own interest in the material that needs to be learned. So the way to accomplish that would be to have the parents and the teachers get on the same page and come up with a common vision for what the child will be learning over the course of either 6 weeks or the semester, and implement a strategy through that course of action.
So my name is Vincent Velasquez, student at Texas A&M University, best class of 2020. So the things that inner city teachers are facing is like trying to find that buy-in to the curriculum, right? Well, the thing is, if you figure out something as far as like electives that really do pertain and really get interest from your students, then I feel like they would have more buy-in rather than just going on about world history or mathematics that, quite frankly, I haven't really used algebra in a hot minute. So using things such as agricultural mechanics or wood shop, where like I have to read a measuring tape, I have to use simple math, I have to divide, multiply without a calculator, using that kind of stuff was actually more beneficial for me and I felt like it gave me a little bit of a break from the regular academia than just going into the schoolhouse for 8 hours and then go back home. That's me.
I don't feel there is a single solution in order to fix the problems. I think the most important thing to do first is to listen to the teachers, that administrators must make the time to listen to their teachers. I believe that many times people come into their classrooms with a way to fix it or to tell them what they're doing wrong or how they can do it better, as opposed to taking a community building approach and first coming in to observe and then to listen, period. Listen to the students, listen to the students' families, listen to former students, and then to work together to come up with solutions to help the teachers. And in helping the teachers, I believe the hope is that the students will also benefit from this. I think we spend a lot of time identifying what's wrong or coming up with solutions, as opposed to taking the step in community building and listening to those people that are in the classrooms day in and day out, and to listen to their students and their student families. That might fix it, but more than likely it will be a very long process, but a step in the right direction to find the solutions to support urban teachers.
A common theme in each of these interviews was the idea of making sure students actually want to be in school, and that starts with students' basic needs being met, either at home or in school. One way to do this is to provide free meals for students, maybe breakfast, lunch, and dinner. By demonstrating to students that what they are learning in school will actually help them in the future is one way we can make curriculum relevant and alleviate some of the issues teachers are facing in the classroom. Another solution was to create community outreach and parental involvement. Lastly, standardized testing must be changed. This is something I am very passionate about because the tests we are giving our students are more than likely not valid ways to assess their knowledge, especially considering many of our urban students lack the background knowledge needed to score well or average on these exams. Throughout the interview process, it was very interesting to hear what community members think can be done to help fix these issues teachers are facing in the classroom. While I don't disagree with any of these issues, it's interesting to hear that people who aren't really involved in education see the same problems that teachers are seeing in their classrooms.